It's Friday, November 4, and time for the Barbados Today Morning News Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. We begin with a new twist involving the man at the center of the latest industrial dispute in the country. Barbados Today has been informed that President of the National Union of Public Workers, Akani McDowell, is not qualified for the position in which he was acting before he was sent back to his substantive post. According to an official source, the post of Health Officer 1 requires someone with a postgraduate degree in economics, health planning, or a related discipline, and no less than 1 year's relevant experience, or a degree in economics, health planning, or a related discipline, and no less than 2 years relevant experience. The official revealed that the union president has a master's degree in public health, but none of the stipulated requirements. When contacted by Barbados Today, McDowell, who confirmed his degree, said some of the information provided by the source was incorrect. However, he declined to provide details, arguing it would pervert talks between the union and the chief personnel officer, which began yesterday. In other news, 23 pregnant women have contracted the Zika virus in Barbados. That's according to officials from the Ministry of Health, who say that number includes 2 suspected cases of congenital syndrome, which causes severe microcephaly. The country has recorded 4 cases of the Guillain-Barré syndrome, a disorder in which the body's immune system attacks part of the peripheral nervous system. As of October 8, the island recorded 625 suspected cases and 30 confirmed cases of Zika. This has prompted authorities to issue yet another warning to residents to do all in their power to reduce the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which they say is also responsible for several recent outbreaks of dengue fever. Those outbreaks occurred in January, February, August, and September. The island now has 467 confirmed dengue cases, as well as 1,378 suspected cases. That's of October 8. This compares to 70 confirmed cases and 309 suspected cases and 1 death for the same period last year. In more health news, the ministry says there is no unusual rise in cases of respiratory illnesses in Barbados. The assurance follows a message making the rounds on social media advising of an outbreak on the island. The message warned that the condition was characterized by cold symptoms such as fever, chills, headache, body aches, fever, and loss of appetite, and urged people with the illness to avoid leaving home to go to work or other public places until the fever had subsided. However, the ministry made it clear that cases of respiratory illnesses in the country were not above what it normally expected at this time of year, even as it urged the public to practice good personal hygiene. It will no longer be legal for drivers to hold mobile phones to their ears while driving. That's if proposed amendments to the Road Traffic Act are approved. However, this does not mean a total ban on cell phone use. Assistant Superintendent of the Royal Barbados Police Force, Roland Stanford, tells Barbados Today the amendment legislation will legalize the use of Bluetooth and other hands-free devices while driving.
The legislation will permit things like Bluetooth and that sort of thing to be used by drivers.
Right.
Although, believe me, there's some distraction still.
Right.
But being hands-free does not mean that your attention is totally focused on the road.
On the road, right.
But it is an improvement. I expect that you would see an improvement in the driving because at least the person, some of the focus,
Right.
all of the focus will not be taken away from what is happening ahead of you or around you.
Okay.
One of the things is that both hands underneath at all times. Right now, if you're using a cell phone and without one of those wireless devices, then you tend to break the first rule.
Exactly.
Taking hands off.
Exactly.
Sports news now, and there's news that no one is to blame for the 2014 death of Australia cricketer Philip Hughes. That's according to the coroner who led the inquest into the batsman's death. The The 25-year-old youth died from a brain hemorrhage 2 days after being hit on the neck during a first-class match in Sydney. However, the New South Wales coroner, Michael Barnes, says changes to safety equipment introduced since Hughes' death would not have saved the player. He also found that the emergency response to the incident was flawed, although he says everyone involved performed to the best of their abilities.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
But Maisie, this Christmas will be the best Belgian Christmas for we. Maisie, it is all because Republic Bank just like Santa Claus. Maisie, fix up the kitchen and a new TV we getting. A special time to commemorate. Republic will help you celebrate.
Get ready to celebrate 50 years of independence right through to the best Bajan Christmas ever with a Make It Happen loan of up to $50,000 from Republic Bank. Give your home a good old Bajan spooser, buy some new furniture and appliances, or take an after-holiday trip to visit loved ones over and away. You could also be one of our lucky winners to share in fabulous prizes. Just visit any branch to apply. Go to republicbarbados.com or call us at 227-2700. We're also available via Skype and FaceTime. Special conditions apply.
In Bajan style, it will be great with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
We pick up with news from the region now. Guyana's Director of Public Prosecutions is reporting an increase in sexual offences in the country, especially against children. We get the details from Keisha Jilks of Capital News.
Director of Public Prosecution, Shalimar Ali Haq, pointed out a recent spike in crimes under the Sexual Offences Act against children.
You find that more persons are having, and this is particularly males, are having sexual activity with children. And the children are both females and males. But there are more females than males based on the files coming.
Ali Haq noted that while the Sexual Offences Act classifies individuals 16 and older as no longer being children, sexual activity with anyone under 16 is rape.
There's no argument with that, and there's no compromise, and there's no discussion on that. It's a no, no, no in caps. Once the person is under 16, there is no issue of consent.
And finally, officials in Turkey are reporting that two co-leaders of the country's pro-Kurdish HDP opposition party have been detained. Security forces quoted one of the country's media agency saying that the two top officials were detained at their respective homes as part of a counter-terrorism inquiry. At least 9 other HDP MPs were also taken into custody. And on that note, we come to the end of our news and sports update. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and the Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good morning.